G'day, welcome to the Realms of Power. Today I'm joined by Dr. Saath Yolingumni. Saath, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's great you're here. And Realms of Power, for those joining us for one of the first times, is really about turning your power on, your true aligned power. And mate, we had a spectacular weekend actually just hanging out, organising the Realms of Power retreat that's just about to kick off. And mate, it was great having you and a bunch of the previous guests we've had on this show. And we've talked about getting you on for some time now. So mate, it's great having you here. And I'm just so excited about where the juice of this workshop's going to go.
Let's juice it up.
Fantastic, mate. We've talked, about chiropractic and many of these things, turning your power on, but you've had such experience in your background in both the personal coaching realm, amazing just life experiences. You're an absolute comedian. So why don't we start there, man? Why don't we start with the juice and the comedy of life? How important do you find that in turning people's power on, the comedy and the spiz of life?
Well, for me, just, seeing in our family, in society, the most playful and highest energy of the age groups are children. And children laugh a lot. And laughter is endorphins, it's energy, it's movement, it's contraction, it's happiness, it's joy. And I think we lose that as adults. I think we lose that with the busyness of life and with the responsibilities. So when I decided after a lot of life turns that I wanted to be in the space of teaching and transformation and growth and turning people's power on, one of the best ways to hook the mind was to tell stories and teach. And one of the ways to embed that knowledge was with some element of laughter. So comedy became a part of my teaching way.
And sometimes, admittedly, when we go to comedy, we can go too far. We can push into people's energy and they can retract from that. And that's people's judgment about what that comedy is. So in order to calibrate that comedy, you just have to allow, the flow of what feels right to you. And that's finding your right audience, your right people. You can't make everyone happy in this life. But if you're making yourself happy for finding your own joy and humor, how have you found that balance, mate, moving forward? Because I know you've changed quite a lot over the years in that realm.
Yeah. The balance for me has come with the sensitivity or the ability to sense where people's energy and emotion and vibration might be. And that's from dealing with gender opposite sex, my partner, a relationship level, a customer, an age difference, child versus someone more elderly, cultural differences. I come from a European multicultural background. I have a very Australian laid-back group of friends. I would connect differently with them. I would make them laugh differently than I would with family, friends, and people that have maybe are only first generation immigrants. For me, the comedy bit was actually not just to make things ha-ha, but I looked at public speaking. I need to do or master public speaking. And so I saw an interview of Robin Williams talking about and Tom Cruise talking about their roles in the entertainment industry, and that Tom Cruise would say, I would much rather act than be in live stand-up, because you've got to be that precise, switched on and sensing the room on how, when, way to deliver your content, versus behind the camera, a mistake's made. It's like, okay, cut, take 2, take 3, and we can repeat and clean it up. So that's what drove me to then go and sign up and do a public speaking course, a stand-up comedy course, instead of going to something like Toastmasters and stuff, which I'm sure has great benefits as well. But I thought, if that's the hardest, then I want to go to the hardest and then work back from there. And that's where I learned a lot about your own emotional story, how to convert trauma, tragedy, and difficulties of life into something more palatable to an audience that would then get them to relax and relate, saying, if this guy's up there sharing that in a digestible and joyous way, then maybe my life's not that bad, and maybe I can actually overcome what I've gone through as well. So I learned to weave my more challenging chapters of my life into some stand-up, and then also into my interactions in work and personal relationships.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of courage, really, doesn't it, to be in that realm. As I said, a lot of famous actors wouldn't even have the courage to stand up on stage and potentially be heckled, potentially be judged. And whether that's on stage or just like you said, in the clinic, or even just at home with your life partner. I find for me with my partner, one of my, I call it my jobs, is to, oh, I've made my wife smile today. I've made her laugh. I've made her day. And sometimes that's at my expense, but we know that that's just in jest and having a good laugh. But talking to the courage of being able to stand up and deliver, not just from a point of view of comedy, but the point of view of having that power within to back yourself in what you're about to say or deliver.
Yeah. Well, that courage for me comes from a deep burn, so much so when the message and the essence and power of the message becomes so strong that it's almost a shame or a crime for it to stay inside me versus be out. And if I've been endowed from above, from the energy, from the universe, that I've been given this gift on my heart to deliver it, then I would be doing a disservice to myself and to the gift by not then being courageous and putting myself out there. So that courage actually comes from, again, a place of service. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it for how can I impact my surroundings, family, friends included, so that as a community and as a group, we become a network of highly vibrating, more love emanating, more heart and soul connected through messages that delivered, stories that get told. So the courage comes from, it would be more damaging for me not to put myself out there and say that to myself and the others around me. And so the of pulling through my own fears, and I can always correct and improve. It was always about failing and not doing it good enough. Have I perfected it? Am I ready? Is my material sharp enough? Is the audience ready? Will I fumble? Will I forget what to say? Versus how important is what I'm saying? Wow, they need to know this, whether it's a chiropractic message for wellness, whether it's something about human dynamics and relationships, whether it's something that would make the world better or shake up the system or think outside the box of how we're doing life. We talk about the rat race and the wheel. And do you really need to be on that? Who put you on that? Who told you there's no way off of that? Those kind of topics, when they come to me and I'm to speak, then the courage is already there because the message is too strong.
Oh, look, I love that. And if I can go back to what you said earlier, I think it's such a key point. You talked about, and you used the word shame. And there's a concept that a lot of people might not have heard about, and that's healthy shame. So we look at shame often as a low vibration. Oh, I'd be ashamed if I did that or said that or spoke my message. But you're using the opposite vibration. You're using healthy shame to say, that message needs to come out, and I'm going to use that as a positive influence. Can you speak into shame just as a concept of an emotion, and how to flick that switch for someone to go, I'm going to use that in the positive and in the light to get my message out there, rather than how will I be judged and in that way?
Yeah, the shame, when I say it, the flick that I do, instead of like it's shameful because it's something negative, it's more like in the context of what a shame. And when I say what a shame, to me, the only topic that comes up there is the waste of potential and the waste of potential energy. I don't think there is a lack of talent in this world and a lack of genius. I think there's a lack of exercising that and integrating that. I think there's analysis paralysis, people staying in the comfort zone, staying inside their box. And I hate this one, stay inside your lane. being told in a workplace or in a corporation or in a committee of a scout group or a soccer football team, stay in your lane. Like, I think we all don't only have talents and moments of clarity and genius, but we have intuition. And that intuition is a power. And that intuition is not DNA bred or book learned. It's sometimes cosmic, spiritual timing that you're in the right place in the right time and someone needs to be the mouthpiece and it's you. And that bright idea is what needs to be delivered to unlock the next phase of evolution of this person, this organization, this project. Yet you cowered down because you were told to stay in your lane, or you're not qualified, or it's not the right timing, or they're going to think I'm an idiot, or I don't want to be seen as the one that always has something to say. And to that I say, what a shame.
Geez, you couldn't have said that better, mate. And the synchronicities, isn't it? We have these synchronicities in our life, whether it's meeting a partner at a certain time, and you've just had a beautiful experience with your wedding and timings of a trip that you didn't even know was going to happen. And that's to Ixta, who's been on our show before. And can you tell us just briefly about a synchronicity that might have happened over there, or something else where you just felt into it and you trusted that intuition and went, oh, it's over here. And you're able to push into that, whereas other people would hold back or go, stay in the lane, like you just said. Speak into the synchronicity of that moment, if you will.
Okay, one really strong moment that is just coming up straight in front of me, and it's only 6 weeks young, is that our anniversary of our relationship, our 9-year anniversary, was meant to be on the 10th of October. And I planned for that to be a great day for me to propose and ask for her hand in marriage, ask if she'd marry me. And I already booked that we would be down on the island. We were in Spain. I would be down at the south of Spain on the island of Ibiza, and I would do it there because it'd be a nice beach plus area. In the background, we'd also been invited a few days earlier to go up to France, the south of France, and stay with some of Ixta's friends and colleagues. And when I got there, the place, the energy, the vibration, as I knew what was coming in 4 days' time, I felt like, no, this is the place. These are the people. This might be somewhere more suitable. I'm getting a very strong pull. And I spoke in secret to the friends that were hosting and said, look, I was planning to propose. This is the day I was thinking. I feel like there's somewhere more majestic here than the island of Ibiza. Am I right? And it was, oh my God, there is a place called the Fountain of Love. It is such and such. It's where there is history of sacred people being wed with their feet in the stream. And so I quickly rearranged my plans, crafted the way that I would do it, the location, the timing, with the assistance of these lovely people. And Ixta, my wife, says now that it was the most unexpected, surprising, surreal, and sacred way that she would have wanted that moment to happen. And how that happened and why, didn't expect it. Obviously, it was a surprise, but where it was, how it happened, who was there, and the energetics of the place and the timing of things that we had moved through 3 days before getting to that moment just made it 100% synchronized.
Mate, what a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. And I was so honored to hear that story firsthand.
She said yes, by the way. Sorry, she said yes, I should say.
Yeah, good. Thanks for sharing, mate. It's just amazing. And you've just been able to tap in, if I can use that word, to those synchronous moments more and more as you're trusting this intuition. And whether that's stretching people in a healing journey, stretching people, whatever that might be. Speak more into, if you can, how important that gut feel is and intuition in those moments. Like, where do you access that for those listeners out there who go, oh yeah, I know what my intuition is, but how could they sharpen that sword and really get in touch with their intuition to create those synchronistic, energetic moments in their life?
Yeah. As a personality type, I am a very go, go, get it done. It could have been done yesterday. Let's do it today. Okay, we've still got 3 hours in the day. What can we get done before going to bed? We're on a holiday. How many things can we fit on these 4 days? I want to have the most amount of fun, the most amount of laughter, the most amount of passion, the most amount of gourmet tastings. I want to see as many sights as possible. And that speed can allow you to fumble into great opportunities. And if it's meant to happen, they say what's meant for you won't miss you. But that's not from the gut. And for me, I have had to do lots of work in finding ways to slow down and almost slow down time. And that comes with consciously setting my mindset and my heart onto what it is that I'm actually doing right now or about to do, including, okay, I'm about to go to sleep right now. I want to have a good night's sleep. I want to have nice dreams. I want to be restful when I wake up, even if I don't voice it, just to think that, and then wake up the next day. And I wake up more times than not when I do that. I access a power of almost manifesting that thing to happen more often. So that's one way. The intuitive gut thing then will speak to me, will come to me in a little flicker, in a little picture, in a little sound, in a little almost an imagination. Or did that move? What was that? Was that a butterfly that went past? Or did I just imagine that? Those things are happening more often as I take moments of slowing down, even in the hectic speed of life. I mean, unfortunately, life is that quick now. Most of my clients I speak to, I said, oh, for the moment I wake up, it's like checklist time. Oh, I've got to put the bins out, got to drop the kids to school, got to pick up the dry cleaning today, the rates have to be paid. If I haven't left the house yet and I'm just laying in bed, I'm going in an adrenal, energy taxing way before I've actually got up. You won't hear your gut speak to you in that mode. And so even if I have that kind of a day, I will try to at least spend some time out with my feet on the grass or just sit in the quiet of our room. We have an area that is our stretch and meditation area, or I'll lay down in a stretch position, which unwinds my body, and I'll listen to just my heart beating and my own breath, and then see what images start to come. And some might say you're just imagining that, but then the quality of what I'm imagining has significantly become more and more profound in the last 3 years. And it's since being more in tune with my counterpart. We call ourselves almost like the pearl energy. I'm the blue, she's the pink, and we swirl together, the masculine, the feminine, the sun, the moon, that you don't have to be in a partnership to have that, but you have to be able to transmute and feel your masculine and feminine essence, because one's more creative and one's more action orientated, one's more intuitive and one's more directive and where to go. So are you accessing that? And how am I doing that? In the stillness and in reflection. Reflection of how have I been in the last 24 hours? What have I been doing? Do I need to just do nothing tomorrow or tonight, or slow down, or go for a magnesium float, or go get a massage, or just go sit on the beach? Or is it jet ski time? Because I have been sitting around for a while. So it's jet ski time. Go have a hit of squash. We're then going to go and play putt-putt golf and see if we can stop by the Pinnipala time zone and shoot a few targets at the same time.
I love that. I was going to ask you about masculine and feminine, but you've really just sort of given just such a beautiful summary. And for a man to also identify that they may be either strong in one or the other. And then if they are really strong in one and down on the other, let's say your example there was go, 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 masculine, you had to probably work more hard and develop that, whether that's through the work you've done with your partner or just your own personal growth. As you said, it doesn't have to be with a partner. Finding that balance of that masculine and feminine, what you're saying is that leads to more intuitive moments, more synchronistic moments. Is that right?
Yeah, one of my, if I could just drop in, John Kelly, one of our from university, said a thing that stuck with me was, you'll be the same person you are 5 years from now, except for the people you meet, the books you read, and the experiences that you have, or the places you travel. So one of the books that helped me a lot with this masculine, feminine clarity was The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And he speaks about the masculine, feminine. And for me, I find like there's a default level that we can be at. I could say, for instance, I'm at a default general level, I'm 67% masculine energy and 33% feminine energy. But if I choose to go into my feminine 33% and be, I can fully flow into intuition, love, nurturing, no timeline, just being present and experiencing an open heart, ready to receive and give love. And then when I go into my masculine, well, my masculine is the still loving and on mission, have a purpose, something that's what I'm here to do, and I'm in action step mode or planning or protection of my loved ones, my place, my body, my surroundings. So knowing that I have both and then counteracting for myself when I'm alone, what do I need more of right now for this situation, for work, or for my self-care is one aspect of practice. And then it's a totally different, I call it an up level game, when I'm then doing that with my wife being in my space. And how much masculine or do I need to have to be in polarity with her? So there's still attraction, connection. Oh, she's very in her head today. She's getting stuff done, da da da. So if I'm going to be like that too, it's almost going to be like two masculine energies in the house at the same time. Well, that's not going to have a lot of polarity, which shit, we might get a lot of stuff done, but it's going to be like two mates on a project instead of, I might just drop into a little bit more of a feminine thing. Is there anything I can help you with? I don't care what we eat today. What do you feel like? I'm just going to chill. If you need anything, let me know. And then when she's in that, then I'm like, I'll take care of it. I'm doing this. I'll go get this for us. I think we should see a movie. I'd like to see this one. Then I'd always ask, how do you feel about that? But I'm leading when she's in her feminine and putting on a bit more, accessing my masculine, and I flip and change. And that comes back to that game, that play, that I call it a dance. That dance is actually a level of awareness and consciousness. So intuition, consciousness, and feeling in second by second, moment by moment, because the beautiful feminine can change that quickly too.
Yeah. And look, what a brilliant message about the relationship power, spoke on that wheel, because hopefully the audience just really sucked in what you just said and got the juice of that. There's a lot of relationships out there that end up being like the brother, sister, like the mates, like you just said, and wondering where that passion's gone, where that spark has gone. And it can lead to fireworks, absolutely. But it can also create this amazing connection. So that's just such a full message and share in the realm of relationships.
Yes, I'm forgetting to highlight that I'm jumping around the different realms of power, but that was the relationship realm. And then there was also the spiritual, energetic, emotional realm there that it touched on. So there's just so much to actually incorporate. And I'm glad that, is in the making, and you're bringing in so many different people that have the strengths on different spokes. And I don't claim to be the strength of any one spoke, but I'm constantly pushing and stretching, like it's a constant magnetism or gravity. It's like Bruce Lee says, water, fill the cup. And I just want to push the cup out all the time. I think that growth happens. I'm all about growth and stretching myself. And I think growth happens on the edge. And sometimes I fall over the edge or step over the edge and burn. And there's a learning there too. And I go, okay, I've got to pull my toes back a bit on that one. But I want to feel that. I want to singe my toes to know that I've missed out. Like I said, what a shame if I didn't push my container to its max. And I'd like my children to do that in their life to whatever their container and their maximum is. But, don't leave anything on the table. Life is short. I explained once, after to some family members. I lost a sister at age 34, and there was a lot of sorrow and a lot of, and it still comes up on the anniversary. And I said, for me, the lifespan, and I like sports a lot. I like watching sports. And I said, to me, maybe life's like a soccer game. It's 90 minutes, and every minute might be a year if I'm blessed to get to 90 years of age. And she passed on at 34. And so maybe she just stepped off the field at the 34th minute. Now, if she's sitting on the sidelines, she's still watching us play. Do you think she wants to see us crying, or is she on the sideline cheering, going, come on, play best, because you're going to be on the sideline within 90 minutes as well. So play your best game, sweat it out, roll your ankle, get a red card, kick the other guy in the shins, get a penalty. You've got 90 minutes. I just happen to be called off, but you're still playing. So savor every minute, because no one plays forever.
Yeah, that is so true words. And there's no right way of doing grief. Everyone has their own different spiritual beliefs, or there's no judgment. It's just like, if you can find that way for you to just go for it, and love what you said, because staying in your lane and playing small, it's not what we're here for. We've heard about the quantum realm, where time and energy and vibration creates multiple different possibilities and multiple different things that we still aren't even aware of. So I'd love you to just take that up even another level. What you just went with there, your energy is on fire right now. So take it up and take it wherever you'd like to go for the listener, about the quantum realm, spirituality, and how you feel people can get the most out of these, however many minutes they've got left on the soccer field.
Grief is a process. I'm not cold-hearted. I felt a lot of pain. I let myself feel pain. I do it to help move the energy. Emotion is energy in motion. It needs to move. We need to process it. And so, yes, there is no bad way to do grief. But again, if it's going to take longer than you could possibly get to a level of peace due to lack of support, leadership, or guidance, then that time in which it took too long, or you would even look back and say, wow, how much time did that take until I got here? That is the shame of what you could have been doing in that time. And so if we are here, again, I don't want to tread on different people's religions or beliefs, or our soul goes on, does it reincarnate? I don't know. I don't have it locked in. I don't know the timelines. It's still a discovery. But what I'm feeling is I need this heart pulse, this energetic feel that babies sense when I'm not in my heart and emanating a positive, creative life force. Dogs growl at me when I'm not at that level. And I actually see and treat a few dogs that come into my clinic every week. So I know I have to be centered and focused on them. If I'm not vibrating at the love pulse of the earth and the plants, and there is ways that I get there when I'm not, because I'm not perfect. I will walk out of my clinic, walk across the road, and literally hug a tree or put my back against a tree and breathe until I feel a tingle that I am now more in balance and vibrating the same as the earth. I will stand and look up at the sun, even if I close my eyes, and let the pulsing light of the sun go through my eyelids, and imagine that that light is washing away this negative feeling, this lack of I didn't have enough sleep for some reason, I'm grumpy, or my shoulder hurts, or that person that's coming in with an open heart, serve me, heal me, help me. I need to be in honor of that, in respect of that, clean and ready without my stuff transmitting across. And things, magic happens, and that service, and everyone has some kind of gift that has been either through DNA, through past lives, through skills they've learned, through traumas and tragedies that's put them on their path. They are here to put a drop of golden life force in the bucket of the community in which they're swimming around in, not take out. And the more they put in, there is no way that this toroidal field that we have in amongst us and the earth itself has, that we're all buzzing in and all a part of this big dynamic soup of love. There's no way that you can keep dropping love drops into the bucket and it not somehow come back and give you a positive effect. Even if you're not doing it for that, it just happens. Energy can't be destroyed or created. It just transforms. But the positiveness of the energy that's with intent and with love, the heart vibration, is a magical thing that at the end the mind must surrender to and the intuition listens to, and the heart just emanates this ooze of platinum joy and service, connection and community all tie in and gel when we're doing what we're here to give and leave behind.
Geez, man, you made me vibrate up another level right there. That's so cool.
What are we doing? What are we doing when we wake up in the morning? Get out there, say hi to your neighbor, put his bin out if he forgets, pull it in, pay for someone's coffee, pick up something that someone else dropped, throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
So many little 1%ers.
And sometimes, people say that they are giving and doing that, and then they get done over by an energy, a field, or something else. And there is times where we do need to bring out our sword and defend ourselves. Like if your heart is open and you have love, you do need to pick up the sword at times. How do you create the difference between that protection and boundary and also the giver and the lover?
Well, two things came up for me, and we're in a really good flow here. One is, first, the ones that just keep giving and they're not giving to themselves first, that's a big red flag. So if you're burning out, you're not sleeping, you've given everyone else, your bank account's empty, but you're giving there is a level of too far if you're actually weakening. And there's always been different analogies, like, on the airplane, put your mask on first before helping others, because if you pass out, who's going to then help the other people anyway? So that's number one: self-care, self-love, and protection. Energetically, there are vampires out there. There are negative people. There is a looshing system. There is a way of draining and keeping us small. There are powers out there that don't want everyone to know their most sovereign power and their higher self and be totally, ready to buck the system and challenge that, whether it be government, whether it be taxation, whether it be rules, regulations, passports, countries, religion. It's easier to dumb down, weaken, and making you need to work and be in debt and the hamster wheel is a great way to keep you tired and keep you busy. And so is football and TV and beers and, flashing you the latest JB Hi-Fi special TV that you've got to have because last year's model doesn't have this function and that function. So you're chasing, dangle the carrot on the stick, go, go, go. Well, yeah, you won't be able to ever feel your highest gift and hear that intuition we spoke about earlier, or fill your heart and strengthen it so much that it can just love and mush everyone around you, that you help raise the others with you. So number one was, don't serve beyond your means that you are drained. But number two, which we haven't gone into, those energies need to be warded off. And they need to be protected. And you can use energetic vibrational tools, prayer, words, crystals, food, detoxing, sound therapy, breath work, yoga, time in nature, exercise. All of these things can create a barrier around you, which just somehow makes the person that's, everyone gets caught in the storm, but for somehow the clouds just parted around you and you didn't get drenched. Or somehow everyone got a cold, but you didn't. There are people that are mastering these higher level esoteric energies that for somehow their body heals in 3 days when they get a cut and everyone else takes 10 days. And for somehow they just know not to invest in that, even though it looked perfect on paper. They didn't go into that investment. And who was to know there was going to be a tsunami that actually wiped out that emu farm that everyone else invested in? And you didn't know, but your gut knew and the higher timeline knew and the intuition said don't, and you listened, or you were switched on enough to listen. So you need to defend that. You need to know you got to love people. Some people are just energetic vampires. You got to love them and just wave and I love you, but thank you very much. I don't have time. I can't fit you in.
Mate, I love that. Look, I'm going to have to wrap up this episode, mate, but what a brilliant message to finish. Like, yeah, putting that boundary on to protect yourself and not give. It's a give and receive balance, isn't it, mate, in this life? So, mate, Dr. Saath, you are an absolute legend, mate. Thank you so for coming on the show. Look forward to catching up with you again soon. I have to get you back on for another episode, mate, because we could go all day. And I'm sure the listeners got a huge amount of value by having you on the show. So thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Tony. Look forward to doing more work with you soon.
Awesome. Well, thanks to the listeners for tuning in to Realms of Power. You have an awesome day. See ya.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Realms of Power. I have such gratitude for your time and energy and the vision to join us with turning your true aligned power on. To take your power up another level, you could share this episode with someone who you think would benefit or make a comment online that would help us get this information out there. We'd really appreciate your love and support. Hope you have an awesome day. See ya.